ooh, Tamlin-chan, who fed me and who complimented me, can kill that thing. Ow, ooh. Welcome back, dear listeners and viewers, to Under the Mountain, an ACOTAR podcast. I am your host, Frank.
And I'm Lauren.
And today we'll be covering chapters 10 and 11 of A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas.
You were groovy on that one.
I was fucking grooving on that one.
Okay, how do we feel?
We cooked a little.
We cooked
a little bit.
Some of your complaints were taken care of.
I'm finally, am I eating? I'm eating a little bit. Like the broth is starting to be stewy, and I'm like, ooh.
You're confusing me though, because you said to me like, oh wow, I kind of liked those chapters, and then you also, when we sat down today, said like, I'm about to like come for this bitch. Mm-hmm. So
yeah,
I'm not sure where we're at.
Well, here's the thing.
Mentally.
Chapter 10, the big bad bogey,
Bogge. Why are you calling it? I think it's a bog.
Bog.
Bogge. I'm not calling it
bogey. Bogge. Whatever. Yeah, I think that shit's lazy, and we'll get into it.
Okay.
I didn't actually look, and I should have. This is going to be on me, because it's probably from mythology, Welsh.
The bog?
Oh, tell me.
It's not.
It's not. So then I really hate it,
well,
and I'll get into why.
It's giving boggart.
This is a boggart plus a dementor, and that's all we did. We did not cook with this monster.
No, we definitely.
We cooked more with the Puca, and we'll get into that.
Puca's real.
Well, we cooked more with the Puca.
Well, so she's taking it from real.
I understand.
Mythology.
The first crazy thing that we see shouldn't be like a fucking little snippet from a Chamber of Secrets or something like that. You know what I mean? Well, technically it didn't show up in it.
It's from Prisoner of Azkaban.
All right, so we'll get into that. But chapter 11, especially at the end, we got emotional comeuppance. We got some character depth, and like Feyre's actually going through some shit.
I like chapter 11.
Chapter 11 is like, okay, I'm excited for what's to come, and I'm sure that won't last, but I'm excited right now.
No, the thing is, it is a mixed bag. So it's like, those moments are around.
Yeah. It's
not like she totally drops it. You're like, I'll never get anything good like that again. You will. That's what keeps you.
That sucks.
Despite how much a lot of it sucks, you are like, well, but these things are good.
Yeah.
Right? So like, that does keep you invested.
It's hard. For as much as I dislike Feyre, which is a lot right now, we cooked like we did in chapter 11, and her growth was like really well done from like really detestable, illogical, angry girl that we have to like some sort of like noble character.
She's kind of a combo.
I know. My fear right now, because of what I've seen in like before reading chapter 11, I was not on board. Because I felt like
we're throwing... With the whole book or Feyre?
Feyre.
Okay.
I feel like we're throwing a lot of elements in the soup, and they don't jive in one person.
But once in a while they do.
And that's interesting. And it maybe is belaying some sort of inner concept that she's working with that I just couldn't predict. This was interesting, and this was like, okay, this was a gaping hole, and you're addressing it. Good.
Yeah. And say specifically, like, what was the gaping hole?
The gaping hole was her utter lack of guilt at killing Andros.
Right. And I think that maybe she would have had just the inkling of a thought about it before this moment.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're trying to say something about Feyre not being willing to engage with like bad things until she's like forced to. I don't know if we were just like, it's a little bit more dramatically compelling to have it happen now versus then, because there was so much going on then. It's kind of going to get lost in there.
Feyre is like an emotionally devastated child who is going through a lot.
Yeah.
Which I have a lot of respect for. I understand. Like, that's... she's in a crazy scenario. She was in a crazy scenario. Her life has not been stable in any means.
Yeah.
And we're doing that, like, hierarchy of needs where she's finally starting to feel full and calm and all these things. And now things like... she has time for things like guilt. However...
Yes, but the hierarchy of needs, I think, has been woefully underdeveloped and underlooked this whole time. Meaning, within her hierarchy of needs, should I put Maslow's pyramid here? I think that due to the fact that she was so low on the most important ones and then was put into a situation where all of a sudden they were all accounted for, and the fact that she has had zero, count them, zero thoughts or feelings about that internally is nuts to me, because that would be first and foremost, her body and mind would be obsessed with this food, obsessed with being comfortable and warm and not.
See, I'm even willing to like take a character was so devastated and almost like someone that went through like tremendous trauma, right? Like who can't even like handle it, right? Like will not warm up.
That's a different,
next
but
to
that's
the fire.
part of.
I know
that's part of it. She's
like rejecting it like out of a moral position a lot of the time.
Okay,
and it's
but
like,
see,
I'm not saying realistically. I'm saying there's someone who could write a character going through that sort of thing, and I could believe it. This didn't do it for me, and then was supposed to resolve in this way anyway, where like now that she's finally starting to warm up, she's having bigger emotions, and all these things are starting to pour in, and she can't push out her softer side anymore because all the things that you were saying, like where are those little like almost like just pure human animal
that's
reactions
what I'm saying.
to
I
these
just
things.
think that she would have really complicated and big feelings around suddenly being full, around suddenly being warm.
Safe, warm.
And
well,
she has
safe,
she has the teeniest, like she has a thing going on here that is the like, which I like. It's in chapter 11 where she's like, I feel empty without the purpose of trying to like gather.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, me too. I liked that, but I kind of feel like Sarah she was like so attached to that emotion for Feyre that anything that was going to contradict that, which would be feeling kind of grateful for being full, feeling that like ravenous sense of like, I need to like, and she does, like, it's not that she doesn't eat. They even make a point of it that she's like not going to give up the food.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. I do feel like authors sometimes who write books like this, they really shy away from complexity and they shy away from anything that's going to be showing two emotions that seemingly contradict one another, even though they don't. So like Feyre having big emotional reaction to the fact that she has food now and isn't hungry for the first time for days at a time. That being a positive feeling, she's not comfortable putting that in because it kind of takes away in her mind from the I'm feeling empty without my duty. I think they absolutely, you can feel both of those things at once.
100%.
And she doesn't trust her reader.
It's inherently more complex. It's inherently more difficult to write because you do risk muddling your point if you're not careful.
Do you? Like, to me, I could take that in so easily that she's feeling both of those things.
You could, but I'm saying writing it, I kind of feel like sometimes authors shy away from doing that sort of thing because they're fearful that their concept of the character will become muddled. They almost struggle to hold both of those things while writing them.
Maybe. I mean, that's possible, but I do also sometimes think that they're like, I know that, but like for my audience to really take in my message, let's just remove that and stick with the one theme.
Make it. Yeah.
I find that really boring and dull because I'm just like, what are her, like, why is she not having a bigger...
it lacks that realism. It almost, when you're someone more comfortable with holding multiple, potentially conflicting, but not actually emotions at the same time, now when you're reading it, you're like, so either there's something wrong with her, where like, why is she not feeling grateful? Why is she not feeling like safe? And I don't mean grateful to Tamlin. I just mean grateful,
like animal
like
grateful.
Capital G grateful. Like, like, you know, feeling finally that sense of like, I know where my next meal is coming from is tremendous. Like even animals will like abandon their instinct for that same thing. So she was acting like an animal out in the woods and now she doesn't have to. That's like such a crazy, huge thing that is being undermined.
I think we want Feyre to want to leave. We want Feyre to have lost her purpose. We're saying don't put in the conflicting side of that, which is maybe she is a little tempted to stay. Her saying, I lost my purpose in a way, right?
Yeah.
Like, so saying, wow, okay, I'm no longer starving. I'm no longer fighting for my life. And now I feel kind of depressed in a way that is actually like maybe the more complex thing to explore versus just being like, oh, I love this because I'm not hungry. Although, again, I think they'd both be happening. But one is more just, like, obvious. It's like, well, yeah, no shit. And that one is a little bit, makes your brain go a little bit more like, oh, that's a little bit of an inversion or an interesting idea. Like, the downside of no longer starving is more intriguing. So I think that it's, like, easy. There's no complicated whirlwind of different thoughts that contradict each other to work through. And it's kind of a more interesting
than just the baseline, like, fairy tale version.
Right, exactly. So somebody might be like, oh, I would have never thought of that, but it makes sense, which can be fun to read.
I agree.
Right?
It's been a while since I've read Mistborn, but I'm thinking of Vin, who starts out very similarly.
Yeah, right.
She's abused, she's starved, has no powers, etc., etc. And I wanna try and remember Vin's internal journey, because I do feel like it's very slow, and it's very like she almost blossoms out. Yes. Where I feel like weirdly Feyre is like, her like barbs are already established because they're mostly self-defensive.
Yeah.
We understand that's a thing.
I remember feeling less frustrated with Vin.
Yeah.
Like I liked her more consistently from beginning to end.
Yeah.
I can't quite say why.
Vin was a reluctant hero. Feyre's not even in the role to be a hero right now, so...
Well, not right now.
Feyre's being told to be a housewife, and she's hating that. So...
Yeah. True. Truly. But, Vin has she's got her moments at the ball. Well, that was my thing, because Feyre in the other one where she didn't want to wear the dress, and she was like, I can't escape in a dress. And I was like, who could? Vin. But I guess she also had a lot of magical powers.
Shot herself all over the fucking Feywild.
No, but my bitch wasn't held back by her dress. That's what I'll say. Didn't she, tear it off?
At one point, yeah, because the Mistborn comes and she just rips her dress off.
Well, in Feyre's, Delulu mind, she, acts like she's Vin, so...
That is my problem.
Yeah, you're like, okay.
Vin doesn't even act like Vin until a while in. Yeah. Feyre's acting like Vin now.
It's like, where'd you get that? Okay, so, chapter 10, last chapter we left off, Feyre and Lucien were on their little hunt, ride, border patrol together.
Whatever, yeah.
And Feyre was trying to get Lucien to agree to help her, figure out some way to go home. Lucien, called her out immediately. He was like, I know your little trick.
Yeah.
I'm not helping you. I can't help you. And then they were interrupted by some sort of horrifying feeling something in the woods, and Lucien was like, no, whatever you do, don't look at it, just stand still. Okay.
Don't blink. Don't even blink. Not for a second.
We pick up right there after the cliffhanger. Feyre's hearing a voice in her head. Did you write this down?
I will grind your bones between my claws. I will drink your marrow. I will feast on your flesh. I am what you fear. Pretty on the nose there. I am what you dread. Look at me. Look at me.
I was sensing some Nosferatu inspiration.
Oh, from me just now? Yeah.
Of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me.
Yeah, exactly. Talking in her head, she feels a cold mass circling them. It keeps telling her to look at it, and she wants to because she's like, I really feel like I need to see what this thing is. I understand, both from a magical perspective and just... Yeah, you would feel tempted.
What the fuck is this?
So she's staring at a tree.
Uh-huh.
And
how does she combat this this horrible creature of darkness?
She starts thinking of pleasant things.
Wow.
Intrinsically,
she just knew to think of pleasant things. All right, keep going.
Well, that kind of makes sense.
Sure. Yeah, like how you summon a Patronus, right? Literally the same way that they do that. In that book?
Sort of. Somewhat.
Okay.
The thing she thinks of, to our earlier point, is hot bread and full bellies. I just want to point out, if in Feyre's mind, this is her, number one thought, and I think we're supposed to be how sad her most pleasant thought is being full. But I've not once heard her think that, or gotten any sense that she is incredibly... overwhelmed by feeling full right now.
I know.
She never thinks about
it.
And yet this is where her mind goes when the fucking Bogge shows up. Okay, whatever.
Okay.
And then you get the sense that the Bogge can read her mind because she thinks about that, and then he's like, I'm gonna fill my belly with you.
You damn.
Okay. Then she thinks about it. Then we get some other things that are more Feyre
less
specific.
Base. Yeah.
So she thinks about a starry, unclouded night sky, a summer sunrise, bathing in a forest pool, that's nice, and meeting with Isaac, which I like. I really do like the Feyre is not in love with Isaac. that's not her love interest, but she still has all these positive associations with her time with him. I think that's like Feyre's most mature quality.
I agree. And her internal monologue.
I guess, and, you know, feeding the family.
I like that her internal monologue about Isaac this whole time has been, I don't love him. Yeah, it's just to get our minds off of stuff.
But it was so...
But in this moment when she needs a positive feeling, it is in there. I feel like she hasn't been mentally treating it that way, but it did live in there for her when she needed it.
I think she's been treating it. She's really, I mean, she said like a couple of little like nitpicky things about him, but overall she's been pretty positive and fair, I think.
Yeah. But she's a nitpicky person. So it's like, it shows you, and we'll get something with the Puca later where it's like...
Yeah. So just like as she feels she might be giving up on not looking, it runs away. And she asks Lucien what it was, and he says, "You don't want to know." Everybody keeps saying this.
No, first off.
This time I was like getting a little irritated with him if I were her, because you'd be like, y'all want me to live here.
You don't want to know. I do. I literally want to know what was that. What are you, crazy? I don't want to know. I want to know.
She asks if it was the Suriel. He says no. It's a creature that should not be in these lands called the Bogge. You cannot hunt it or kill it.
Is it from the Winter Court? Because it was all cold?
I don't think so.
Damn.
I think that was more just like an internal... But maybe.
No, the crocuses all shrunk. Like, it was very like... It was like anti-spring almost, so...
Perhaps.
We don't know. You don't remember. All right, yeah.
I don't remember. She asks why they can't look at it. Lucian's like, oh, if you acknowledge it, then that's when it becomes real and it can kill you. You're taking... I mean, I get it. Like, it's a little ripped off of Harry Potter, but...
Yeah, a little.
I don't hate it. It's fine.
It's fine. It's just boring. Because that's what everyone expects. You know what I mean?
You're right. So Feyre thinks that this was the Prythian she expected, that creepy monster, not, you know, the hot Fey men. And that... Thinking about that type of creature is what made her decide to kill the wolf, which I understand and agree with.
Sure.
And it ties into why we kept saying, like, she should feel kind of guilty once realizing that it wasn't a monster like that. I guess I'm like, these all seem like great talking points amongst the crew, right?
Yeah.
Like when they keep having these stupid disagreements where everybody's like taking this really extreme side of like, humans are the worst, or like, you know,
dirty little monkeys.
They are all terrible sadists. Like, it's like, this is when you'd be like, dude, like, just so you know, like, that thing was fucking scary. And like,
to
Lucien,
me.
I thought every single Fae was like that. So when I decided to kill your friend,
I know.
I was imagining this.
For some reason, there's never this reconciliation.
Right, like, I just
like, no, I thought everything was like that, and I thought you guys were like the worst version of that. I thought you were like sentient demons that like blew my head up from like halfway across the yard. You know, we've been talking about the cradle tales. Be like, I was raised from a kid to think that was you.
I think that's immediately what I would say.
And she still don't know about Tamlin.
Don't know what?
That he's the High Lord yet. Like, she doesn't know that. No, because there's parts in the next chapter where she's like, how come he can? Like,
But does it even matter, like, in terms of that question?
It does when you're like, there's 7 of the most powerful, and he's one. This guy is one of them. That changes a lot of things. If you're like, oh, I stumbled into, like, one high phase, like, court, like, his little, like...
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
His
place sounds remarkable. It sounds like she's in Versailles. I think if I showed up at Versailles, I'd be like, gotta be...
There's so many balconies, so
one
many
of the
staircases.
High Lords, right? Like, you know, I'm like, this is just some random man in Prythian? I don't think so.
Probably not.
She's like, oh, it was, like, the thing was in my head telling me to look at it, and then Lucia makes a joke being like, oh, good thing you didn't, because then I'd have to clean you up, and she's like, doesn't like it.
Which fair.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Then they keep riding like an hour, not talking. Then she opens the convo again by saying, so, you're old. What? Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Hilarious.
So, you're old, and you carry around a sword and go on border patrol. Did you fight in the war?
Like...
I don't understand.
Her internal monologue is like, I was petrified. I rode in silence for 1 hour. My hands, they finally stopped shaking, and then she just goes, so you're old?
I think the dialogue with Feyre is...
quirked out sometimes.
Weak, quirked out, doesn't line up with the emotions we want her to be feeling.
And I think I honestly do believe this is like some sort of appeal to a certain type of person.
Yeah.
Who... Why do I always say the wrong thing? Like, I'm always doing this. And it's like, all right, like...
Get it together.
Get it together.
You know,
come on, stop.
He says, shit, Feyre, I'm not that old. I don't love the
I don't love
modern...
Lucian saying shit.
Well, it's like when he said something about balls. Like, I don't love this. It's not to my taste. But it's going to be... It's clearly to a lot of people's taste. There's this very modern undercurrent in the way all the characters speak, think about things, moralize things, and... I'm like, get it out of here. Get it out of here.
I haven't read Fourth Wing, but in Fourth Wing there's a modern way of speaking too, right?
More modern. Way more.
Do you want to elaborate a little bit on how like one bothers you more than the other?
I think... I'm not sure. For some reason, there's something about the promise of Faye that really gets me, like, excited.
For, like, the old-timiness. Ye old, yeah. Whereas...
Shape, I don't know.
I feel like, I don't know.
It's almost like Fourth Wing is banging you over the head with how modern it's going to be right away, and it never lets up, and it's just like, that's the tone. Are you good? And you're kind of like, damn, okay, you give up hope.
Yeah, this opened up in the woods with arrows fighting Fey monsters.
This kind of like, it's like it like gets me sometimes back in the mood of like,
old palaces.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then I get so in that, like, I'm like, yes, put on the big gowns. Like, let's all eat the feast. We're in the castle. Like, I get a little too excited mentally about it.
Yeah.
And then, like, how do I explain? Like,
it's if a vampire shows up and says, slay, bitch, you're like, all right, you're 2,000 years old and you're just...
Well, first of all, nobody's, well, you know what, the dragons are really old in Fourth. I was gonna say nobody's really that old in Fourth Wing.
Are the dragons talking like that in their heads?
Like, less, she kind of makes a little bit of an attempt, but unfortunately, it borders really close to it. But more so the people are talking like that, and you're like, yeah, they're not ancient. They're not. They're 19.
That's fine.
Right? Yeah. And you're like, okay, why do they talk like this in this world? Girl, I don't know. Just because. But they're also like, I don't know how to explain it. It gives like Attack on Titan vibes in a way where you're like, oh, they've got all this like gear and they've like, which gives it this, it adds a modernity to it.
I see that.
This doesn't have that until it randomly does. And then you're like, huh? I don't know.
Okay.
That's how I feel.
Thank you. So Feyre asks if he's a warrior.
And then she says in her head, this is what she's really asking. In her head is, would you be able to kill me if it came to it? That's why I'm asking if you're a warrior. Would you be able to kill me? Hello? Hello? Even if Lucian is just a guy, a human man, he could kill you. Definitely.
Bar none.
He could kill you if he's just a guy.
Isaac Hale could kill you. Isaac Hale could have killed you in the bar.
Kill you. So Lucian being a man...
X-100-year-old
when you're a starving,
this is your first week with food,
malnutritioned 19-year-old. He could kill you no matter what.
You have no B12, no vitamin C.
You're dead.
Your protein's in the toilet.
And then on top of it, he's a fucking high fat. Alice, rotund little Alice, just said she could kill you, and you believed her. Of course Lucian could kill you even if he's not a warrior.
Is she implying because he's so, like, flamboyant, like, he might not have the stomach? Only warriors could do that?
No way. No way.
Right,
so this is the sort of thing, I don't really find this excusable.
Yeah,
and then the only explanation will be, like, she's a dumb 19-year-old.
She's not that dumb.
This isn't about, like, maturity or immaturity. This is just, like, is she that stupid?
It may be. Maybe we gotta start reading it. Feyre's dumb.
Good God!
No,
what do
she's
you
not,
mean?
because we're clearly meant to think she's so smart sometimes.
Anyway, I thought that was dumb as fuck.
Yeah, and the solution's like, yeah, I can fight.
Yeah.
Why? You want to learn the blade? Like he offers to train her. Yeah, Feyre keeps making this point that she hunts and doesn't fight.
I kind of liked this. She was like, I don't know how to fight. I only know how to hunt. Because he's like, you already know how.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know how to fight too. And she's like, no, I know how to hunt. And then he's like, they're the same thing. And then she's like, no, they're not. And I agree with her. No, they're not.
They are not the same thing.
Intention, the type of skill. But I kind of see how... But I also kind of get his point of, like, you kill things.
Yeah, you kill things. You
go out and impose your will violently upon things. But Feyre is saying, like, Right, but I don't just, like, fight. I just do this because we're starving. She keeps pushing back on, like, Tamlin being like, you love to hunt, and then Lucien being like, you like fighting. And she's like, no, I don't, you guys.
Yeah, he basically calls her a weenie. Because she's like, I hunt, I don't kill. And he's like, yeah, humans could never get up close. And I'm like, that's dumb.
Well, it feels a little bit, like, cringy from him. Because you're like, what are you so proud about? Like, you guys just have a crazy upper hand.
Crazy magical
like, it's
power.
Not like, oh, how you humans are such cowards. You're so scared of us. It's like, well, duh. Like,
well, but it does feel like a little bit intrinsically his, I guess, racism against the humans. Because they did... with their ash arrows from a distance in a way that they could not fight back with.
Yeah, they were like, that is
and they're like, that's so
cowardly warfare.
You would think that.
Versus like, yeah, somebody who goes...
Versus psychic blast from 150 feet. That's not cowardly.
Right, well, I don't know. I don't even know what these people can do, to be honest with you.
We are not sure. They could blow up buildings or something.
We skip ahead to dinner, where Feyre and Lucien, they're kind of like not being so cordial anymore, she notices as they walk into the room. Tamlin's already sitting at the head of the table when they walk in. He seems kind of pissed off that they're together. And
as he should be.
She's like, oh yeah, I did kind of tell him I didn't want to hang out with anyone today.
And then I hung out with his best friend all day.
So, okay.
We went to the mall.
Lucien says they went on a hunt. Tamlin says, I heard, and did you have fun? And Feyre says, sort of, which is kind of funny. That's accurate. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
He asks if they caught anything. She says no. He seems annoyed again. They start eating. Then Lucien, like, you get the sense he doesn't want to tell Tamlin this, but he's, like, hey.
He's trying to, like, nudge Feyre to do it. But then Feyre's just like, I got nothing to say.
Yeah, which, I mean, it's not her fucking problem, really. Also, she wouldn't even know to say, because she doesn't really know how this
what the
works
implications
or like
yeah.
what we do about this. I don't know. Lucien tells him that they found a bog in the forest today. I did not know what to picture here. It says
what about this fork explosion?
It says the fork in Tamlin's hand folded in on itself. So I'm trying to bet, okay, do we get a fork? He's holding...
Oh, because he has claws.
Yeah.
So and, like, the claws come out and, like, just bend the metal. Like, because he's holding it, right?
Well,
so,
I'm trying to... Why I, like, can't even picture how to hold a fork right now.
I guess it depends on how he's holding it, right?
Is he like this?
He could be, like, like this.
I feel like we need to get a fork.
All right, let's get a fork.
Oh, yes. So now you're eating.
I'm eating.
Hold a fork.
Like this, You're holding it like this.
Okay, so how exactly did it
you see, like,
in on itself?
You see my fingers,
yes.
right? So claws are coming out of my fingers, and all of them. And just, like, the claws are so strong.
Yeah.
When they form out, they just, like, bend the metal.
Okay.
The way the protruding yeah.
Okay, it says the fork in Tamlin's hand folded in on itself. Then we say more stuff, and then it says metal groaned as Tamlin's claws punched out, obliterating the fork, which suggests that they were not out before.
So maybe he just bent it. Maybe just
Ow!
maybe it's like a psychic thing. Like maybe his just like his anger is just palpable.
But you're holding, like, you're eating. What's
happening?
You're
like this, and like I'm saying, I think his fingers are so strong, the metal he like clenched and it just went like. That's what we're supposed to picture, I think.
And then his claws came out.
Obliterating the fork.
So what, it exploded?
Yeah, just,
That's crazy.
Shards of metal.
Okay.
Singing through the air.
Sure. He asks where in the forest it was. Lucien tells him. He leaves the room. Feyre asks where he's going. Lucien says to hunt the bog. She's like, you said it can't be killed. And he says, Tamlin can. I'm like, okay, then you communicated that poorly, Lucien, because I don't understand why you said what you said. Why would you say, if you're like, the guy we hang out with on this land can kill it, why would you say you can't kill it?
Because I think that's the implication, that we're not appreciating. Like, Tamlin is a high lord. Lucien's like, yeah,
no, because he
normal high fae cannot kill it.
No, but he didn't say... I'm pretty sure the words are, you can't kill it. And I'm like, okay, so is the proverbial...
No, because he's talking to her.
Yeah, well, first of all, of course, Feyre
even with your precious ash arrow. He says that. So he's saying, like, don't even think you can do anything about it. Yeah, it's in there. Look at me.
You cannot hunt it. Okay, I don't know. I guess he's just saying you cannot hunt it and you cannot kill it even with your beloved ash arrow.
It sounds like a proverbial you, but it technically is to her.
Come on.
I know.
Why would you need to say that? Feyre can't kill anything in these woods right now.
She got Andros. They're treating her like some great huntress. So it's like she got lucky.
And it will make even less sense when you find out
stuff.
The plot that we're even treating it that way. It makes no sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think it's stupid because I feel like if you say you can't hunt it or kill it, the obvious assumption is that you're just stating, generally speaking, not that Feyre can't, because of course Feyre can't.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, okay, but cool that Tamlin can kill it. So then she has her little, like, romance girl inner dialogue.
I wrote it here. It's, ooh, Tamlin-chan, who fed me and who complimented me, can kill that thing? That immortal horror? Wow, ooh. Verbatim, yeah.
Yeah, she said, oh, he's trying to flatter me, and he can kill that bug? Oh my god. And I would probably think that too.
You would, but you would have been so sold in already. Like
yeah,
6 days ago, you would have been like, so I love him.
When
are we getting married in the spring court? That's what you would have been saying.
It's true. It's so true. Tamlin-chan. I'm here, senpai.
Tamlin senpai pie. Ooh.
She says, I had no idea how anyone could face that immortal horror, but it wasn't my problem, and keeps eating. I do think this is an interesting inversion where, like, Feyre and Lucien are kind of Nesta and Elaine right now.
Oh.
And Tamlin's Feyre.
Yes, and that keeps being a thing.
It's intentional,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, yeah.
I think, well, certainly later it's intentional. We bring that up. But, like, this parallel right now is kind of interesting. She's kind of Nesta right
She's
now.
She's nesting, yeah.
She's just going, not my problem how he's going
to
save all of us.
Sad for his friend.
He's Elaine.
Yeah, I know. That's pretty good.
I was like, okay, that's interesting, because, like, she does later start feeling, I think she starts subconsciously noticing the parallels between Tamlin's position and hers in the family, and she feels sad about it.
But it is interesting that the second she gets her needs fulfilled and doesn't have to be the big, strong huntress girl for the family, she's like, well, then I'm Nesta. And it's like, Nesta's only Nesta because she's better at being Nesta than me. But when there's no Nesta, I'm Nesta.
I'm Nesta now. I mean, there's a difference because it's like, number one, like, Feyre is not uniquely better, like, equipped to go out and hunt, where, like, Tamlin, you're like, well, he is the most powerful person here. So, right, like, immediately him
Feyre
doing
was the most equipped to hunt, apparently, because Elaine can't hold things without dropping them. And
nobody said that.
That's just the characterization I'm getting.
So she goes back to her room, and she keeps looking out the window to check if Tamlin's come back yet. I do kind of like her, like, having that attitude of, like, I'm just gonna keep eating, whatever, that's his problem.
I don't care.
And then she is immediately, like, she is kind of worried, right?
Yeah.
I think that's kind of sweet.
And good characterization to say, have her think I don't care, and then constantly show you that she kind of does.
She does, yeah.
Yeah.
So she's sharpening her knife, sitting out the window, looking for him. I liked the imagery of this.
Me too.
I feel like I have a very distinct image of what this garden and everything looks out. I have a really distinct image of what her room looks like and what the garden outside looks like.
Which is weird, right?
I know, because she doesn't.
I don't think it was that described.
And, like, I've heard, like, people talking about writing where they are like, you actually sometimes suffer if you give too much description.
Yeah.
And are really obsessed with trying to make them picture it exactly like you.
I can see that. Yeah.
The reader doesn't have space to just, like, boop,
yeah, certain words are fertile, I think, when you're writing, and it's like, you just give it to them, and they start filling it out.
I wonder if we have the same picture. Like, okay, if you're walking into Feyre's room, where is her bed? And where's the window? And where's her bathroom?
So you're gonna walk in, the bed's gonna be, like, at, like, 1, 2 o'clock from you. I think you're almost entering, like, you're coming down the hall, making a left into her room. Then the windows are on the far wall.
Yeah, definitely.
Her bed's to the right.
No, her bed's to the left for me.
See, that's interesting. Bed's on the right, and then the bathroom is along. That doesn't work. That doesn't work.
But to me, you walk in, the big window's straight ahead. Her bed's on the wall to the left.
Like right in front of you when you walk in, like right there.
It's a giant room.
Yeah.
So no, but it's a big room.
Yeah, mine's big, but not that big.
Mine's very big. Like some furniture. There's a chest at the foot of the bed.
Yeah.
There's like some seats and like a little table.
I picture everything as extremely ornate but sparse. Like there's lots of like detailing on the walls and the beautiful curtains and the crown molding and all that, but there's not that many like seats or like it's just like a bed.
So yeah, she's sitting there, she's sharpening her knife, she's waiting for Tamlin to come back. She thinks to herself it's utterly ridiculous to watch for his return to see if he could indeed survive against the Bogge. Was she saying it's ridiculous because obviously he can't? Or because,
I think
like,
it's
why
ridiculous
does
for her to even care.
That's
more so what I'm thinking.
Why does she even care?
Why does she care?
Right.
Ooh.
And then, God, what a cliffhanger. She sees something moving out by the hedges. And
oh my God.
She looks closer and it's her father?
What? Chapter break.
It is kind of a fun cliffhanger.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it is. You are like, what the fuck? Which, to be fair, yeah, did I immediately say, well, I guess that's a fae? Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
But also...
Yeah. It would have been interesting if it was her father. That would have been
subverting
expectations. Yeah.
That would have been so crazy.
I know.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine she, like, triple fucked you up, where she was like, of course you're going to think it's a fae, so it's actually him.
It's her dad.
I genuinely thought this was kind of heartbreaking.
This was sad.
Did you think it was sad? Because I think I said it when I was reading it, and you were like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Yeah, this is really sad."
Upon reread, I kind of focused on all her like commentary about it.
Yeah,
and it's rough, you know.
I know. So she immediately, and going back to the Feyre is stupid train. I think this time we are supposed to be like, it's because of her emotionality about the whole, like her emotions are overriding. Unfortunately, she's been shown to be stupid despite that. But okay, I get it. She's really emotionally compromised right now. She really wants it to be her dad. So I can get into this, and I did think it worked, like, from an emotional standpoint.
Plus, it's also, she's in this weird moment where, like, she's having these feelings about Tamlin.
Yes.
Like, she's a little fucked up all of a sudden. She's starting to, like, crack her like resolve,
right.
And then it's like that is
good. I don't have to like. Let's not deal with that. Get me out of here.
It's like that line from the other chapter where she's like, maybe when I'm an ocean away and many years between us, I'll reflect on what Tamlin could have meant to me. Like
when did she say that?
She said it like 2-3 chapters ago. Like
about what?
Because he was being nice to her, and she was like, why would he bother? And then she's like, I want to, once I figure out the loophole and get out of here, and it's like many years later, we sail across the sea, maybe then I'll unpack what this means. And it's like, well
in that
it's starting to come closer and closer, and it's this thing. She's having a little bit of a crush, which is not unreasonable. And this is the penultimate moment of like her starting to be like, he's kind of hot,
Right, and it's all because he's reflecting herself in a way back to her.
Yes.
So that's what's really getting her. She's he is objectively hot, but now on top of it,
he makes sacrifices for his kin like I make sacrifices for my kin.
I'm done.
Which is the only thing she values in life.
Correct.
So
the only one. Okay.
Yeah.
So she sees dad. She's like getting her pack together. She's like, oh hell yeah, I'm going.
Got her butter knife.
She thinks maybe he had a ship ready to take them away. Maybe he had sold the cottage, gotten all this money, and set up a way for them to go to the other continent.
Sure. She's coming out, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, maybe.
She says, my crippled, broken father had come. What?
My father, my poor, horrible, broken, shattered, shitty, ugly, fat fuck of a father came to rescue me. That's the full quote, by the way.
I wasn't comfortable saying all that,
well, that's why I'm
redacted it.
Like that shit, it had that energy.
I was like, no.
Oh, my poor, shitty fuckface with dad is here, no way.
Not crippled broken father.
Crippled broken father.
I mean, I get it. I think it is, whatever. This scene worked for me, but I think you are supposed to be like, oh, she's saying like, despite all of that, he still came. But there is something about you're just like, you're just roasting this man.
I know.
So she climbs down the wisteria trellis, and she starts following her dad. He's walking ahead towards the gates. She's like, how did he even get here?
He's got the cane, he's booking it. Like, she's like, huh, okay.
He reaches the gates, he's like, come. I like the imagery, he's like beckoning. She says that the dark woods are ahead, and she assumes he has horses hidden deeper within.
He must, yeah.
And you're like, this is creepy. So then as she's about to go, her heart's beating. She says, only a few more feet to freedom. and a big hand wraps around her arm and says, "Going somewhere."
Oh, no.
And
Going somewhere, princess?
his claws poked through her clothing.
And she did remark on wearing many, many layers.
Right?
And she felt it like against
It
her
just
skin.
they obliterated the fork. What are clothing to this man?
Yeah, what is your American Eagle sweater gonna do?
Nothing. Okay, I'll say, even though I do, generally speaking, like Tamlin, don't think he's as bad as everyone makes him out to be. He's kind of a dick here. I didn't like his handling of this.
Yeah. It's not the best. But it's also like, you have literally dived into so many fucking dangerous situations in like a day and a half. Like,
well, so far, what is she really? Not, she is going to be that way, but like, what has she done so far?
Well, yeah, the Bogge. But he's like, all right, I couldn't find it. I looked all night. I come back. You're getting like caught by another one. Like, this is a crazy night for you. Can you stop? Like,
well, he needs to have a little bit of empathy for like this. First of all, the first one, that wasn't really her fault. She didn't do anything to call it over. This one, yes, dumb.
Here's the thing. I don't understand his motivations yet. I don't know why she's here. I don't know what all this is about.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have to be nice to her ever.
No, but...
He probably does, based on what he's trying to do.
I don't know. Well, I don't know.
He's got to be a dick. These are his dick moments. And honestly, in my mind, she's like a toddler right now. He's just chastising her.
I know. Well, okay, but that's going to be true all the way through. And the issue that we're just going to keep running into is it makes sense for him to be frustrated with her. To him, she's like a toddler. And then you go, well, he's fucking... I won't finish the sentence.
Don't say it.
You know what I'm
just don't leave it there.
But you're like, okay, if that's our like hand wavy thing, you're like, well, why is he fucking her then?
Well, you know.
And we could get into the wish fulfillment fantasy of it all explanation, and that honestly, that is the explanation, and it kind of makes sense.
That's the grand explanation. Is there a in-universe explanation that like is satisfactory, other than he's horny?
Well,
does he need heirs? Does he blah blah blah? Like,
no, it's a genuine like, I love you. You know.
All right. I mean, you know.
So yeah, he grabs her arm and he says, "Going somewhere," and she's looking at his fangs. She's like, "Oh, he's really gonna kill me now, me and father." And she says, "Please, my father." And Tamlin's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And then he says, "Why don't you look again?"
Look again, Bogge.
And she turns around and he's gone. She sees a quiver of
like a fucking like rotating item from Legend of Zelda.
Yeah,
basically.
like bow and arrows sitting there. And then it ripples and it becomes a pack of supplies. Then it ripples and it's Nesta and Elaine. They're huddled together, weeping, whatever. Then her dad again. And he says, "Weren't you warned to keep your wits about you? That your human senses would betray you?" Honestly, other than Alice, did anybody actually say that to her?
I'm wondering if Alice only said it because he told her to.
Maybe
He's
that's why.
He's like, I know that you were
Yeah,
told
that's
because
true.
I made her tell you.
He probably did.
But I do think it's interesting to see that her dad coming for her is something she greatly desires. The item that got her in this situation, but would defend her right now, she desires. Pack of supplies makes sense. That's not weird. Then her sisters. And her sisters are not just happy and telling for her to come with us. They are crying and need her.
It's so true, though.
Right? Like, that's something she desires. My sad, pathetic sisters who need me.
She loves it. She eats that shit up.
She eats it up. Honestly, I find Feyre and her internal monologue kind of triggering.
I understand.
Do you understand? Like, personally, I find it triggering. Because I'm like, the language that she uses and this, like, framing of, like, I do everything for XYZ. Yeah. I'm like, people in my life who have acted like this their whole lives towards me. And it's like, it's fucking exhausting.
It is.
It's exhausting. It's never real. It's never true. And it's like a defect in them half the time.
Yeah, I'll give a little bit more grace to like a young girl
100%.
doing it who's not a parent,
I'm not even really mad at Feyre for feeling that way. It's a thing that happens in people.
Yes.
It is just hard for me to read about it and then be like, I love this character. It's like,
yeah,
I don't like this.
No, I don't like it either, but it's still kind of interesting.
It is. And it's done well because it's bothering me. That's how I feel about it.
Tamlin steps towards the thing turning into all these images and it runs away as a streak of lightning into the woods. And he says, "Fool, if you're going to run away, at least do it in the daytime. There are worse things than the bog prowling these woods at night. The thing at the gate wasn't one of them, and it still would have devoured you."
That's so Terry phrased. Like, it's like, run away at night, and you'll face worse things than the Bogge, which that thing was not, but like, it's like, all right.
I think it's interesting. I guess I'm like, my impression has been that, like, she definitely can't survive during the day either. The Bogge came during the day.
It did.
So,
That's true.
I guess I'm just like, it's, okay, so, yeah, is it Minecraft rules? Nighttime's far worse?
It literally is Minecraft rules. I hate to tell you that.
I don't know. I think it's weird. My perception has been, like, no matter what time Feyre goes out,
it's fucky. Yeah.
She's fucked up. And
I think the Bogge is, like, such a rare occurrence.
Well,
that
but
like,
then,
we can't predict
there
it.
are worse things than the Bogge prowling these woods at night. So that means even worse. Like, the Bogge's not even that big of a deal, really, when it's nighttime.
That's, I guess, yeah.
What is that?
The
Because
Bogge is just not supposed to be here.
I understand those other things are supposed to be here.
The Bogge is from another court. That's what I'm gathering. He's like not even supposed to be in this realm.
I understand.
The other things are bad, but they are supposed to be in this realm,
I
just
see.
not in the castle. And the Puca is being a shady little fox, basically, right now.
Yeah.
Running up into the castle grounds, which it would never dare do in the past.
Well, because it smelled a human.
I know, but even in the past it wouldn't, because the wards kept them in place.
No, yes. The wards are...
The wards,
uh-huh.
you know.
So,
whatever that is.
She says, "Can you blame me? My crippled father," which again, she can't describe without that.
I know.
"My crippled father appears beneath my window, and you think I'm not going to run for him? Did you actually think I'd gladly stay here forever, even if you'd taken care of my family? All for some treaty that has nothing to do with me, and allows your kind to slaughter humans as you see fit."
Feyre believes, for some reason, that these powerful Fae are her equals. And they are not.
Yeah.
They are not by any means, any stretch, unless the text tells me otherwise later. But as far as she knows right now, these are her lords, right? These are her dominating, terrifying...
Are you saying it in a, like, just in terms of, like, their absolute power?
Correct, yeah.
Right, like, it does feel, we made our jokes early on about Athena and her orgies.
Yes,
but
jokes.
In a way...
Jokes. Yeah.
It feels like it does feel like you like went to live in Athena's halls and you're just being like, and me, and it's like, I mean,
no one sees it fit to say know your place to her.
Well, Lucian kind of does.
Someone's got to say it with some actual.
I guess here's like the thing. Like, I guess the ethos of the book is like. And that's inappropriate that they think they're better.
But they literally are. They're immortal. They have magic.
But then,
they control magical monsters.
How much, like in the X-Men universe, are you like, the mutants should run the world?
Magneto thinks so.
Do you think so?
Kind of, in a little bit of a way.
Well,
but
I'm just
like,
saying, this is like not...
I don't know. There's like there's a reality to this stuff, right? And it's like, I also understand the humans wanting to build the Sentinels because they're scared of the mutants, right? And there seems to be some sort of like push and pull here where it's like, who's going to dominate who? But that makes sense. I guess it's unrealistic to paint her as so brash without rationale, and she never gets clapped for it.
No, because I think the wish fulfillment of it is that you showed up and you just were uniquely...
You had the chutzpah to be so ballsy that you got everything you wanted in life?
I think
is that the wish fulfillment?
I think partially, yeah.
Interesting. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's like all you have to do is like go in and stand up for yourself and believe in yourself. And you too will become very powerful.
It starts to become so goofy to me to be like, I totally understand the desire to write a book like this where it's like, you get all the sexual needs fulfilled. You get all these emotional needs fulfilled. You get all these physical needs fulfilled. But to like also say that like this sort of like personality disorder, which is kind of how it feels to me at this point, is like, it's also good and fine. In fact, that's a strength here. With no repercussions, it's like, we're getting ridiculous.
What sort of repercussions are you thinking?
I think house arrest first and foremost is called for at this moment.
Well,
we gotta lock this girl up. Need to give her a bestiary. Like, what to look out for? Your human wits, you gotta keep your wits about you. Your human eyes will lie to you. That's not enough.
No, that's too vague.
Give me some
but
real
they couldn't
examples.
Have predicted the Puca and the Bogge, because I guess they're just like, we don't know what's going to show up these days.
How many things are there? If it's millions, sure.
I mean,
but
Alice did say, like, don't trust what you see. And it's like, yeah, so when you see your dad, where it's very unlikely that man walked here.
Don't trust what you see makes me think, like, oh, if I see, like, a floating, beautiful, magical rose, don't touch it. Not like I'm going to see my family members telling me to, like, come on.
Really? I think that's exactly what I would think.
That's a hard thing to resist. You know what I mean? I need to know that's a possibility. Don't trust what you see is not enough for me to be like, oh, yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that. Like, I get what you're saying. I think there is, like, a craziness to being like, I'm as good as you. Treat me as an equal. Where it's like, it would be like me walking into, like, the military and being, like, going to the, like, general and all the soldiers.
It's literally being, like that.
Give me a gun. Like, let me fight.
Let me press the bomb button.
Yeah, like, I'd be like, I too should be here. Where they'd be like, yeah, no, you didn't do half the shit we did to learn all of this. So, like, in that sense, I think it's really stupid.
Yeah.
But it's also, like, I don't know. I think there is, like, an inherent pushback that you would have on, like, any group of people being like, we dominate you and you're not worthy. And, like everybody always has a problem with that. I think the stories, like, again, like, yeah, stand up for yourself. Doesn't matter if they're billion-year-old Fae. You have, you know, like, you have this inherent worth, right? Like, even if they are way more powerful than you. And so, like, I think that's part of it. Kind of do get that point of view. But like I said, it does border on this thing of, like, again, me just showing up to the police academy and being like, let me at him. And you're like,
no, who are you?
And, like, it's kind of, in a way, you're like, it's kind of rude. Like, it's just like, okay, no. So, yeah, she's like, oh my God, don't be mean to me. Of course I wanted to see my dad. And then he's like, Feyre, what do you want? And she says, I want to go home. He says, home to what exactly? You prefer that miserable human existence to this? And then she says, like, oh, well, I made this promise to my mom. She explains the whole thing to him. He starts to walk back to the house. She follows. He says, which is what I said like an episode or two ago. You are not breaking your vow. You are fulfilling it and then some by staying here. Your family is better cared for now than when you were there. This seems true.
Yeah.
This is true. It would be one thing if he was lying to her and that was not true, of course. But, like, the fact of the matter is, like, that's true. So you have to think of it from that perspective. And I agree with him. He's right.
This is what's important, right? Because by this whirlwind of events that she couldn't have predicted, she has actually done the thing that she intended to do for her family.
Yeah.
But Feyre believes without personal suffering, it's not worth it.
Yeah, she does.
She says, without me being the one there to provide, to suffer for it, and to have them love me.
But isn't she still, she is kind, because she's, like, so grumpy here, and she does have her freedom taken away. So in that sense, she kind of is suffering for them.
I guess, yeah. That's true, yeah.
There is still suffering
But her
involved.
presence is not there.
She can't soak up
her art is going to be erased and she'll become insignificant.
Not her art. She's gonna, she doesn't get to soak up the, there's like a...
Adoration.
The moral supremacy points of it all.
Which seems very important to her.
It's more that, I think.
Which, in my personal mind, makes Feyre a bad person currently. Like, the fact that she's
bad-ish.
She was in a rough scenario. But, like, that is a bad desire to have.
Right, but I think it's because you're supposed to think, like, oh, like, the parental neglect was so intense. Yeah. And the role she ended up having to take on made her that way. Yeah. Like, where now she does kind of get off on all of those things. Because I guess it was, like, the only feel good about myself.
Yeah, definitely.
Feeling she ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she thinks... speaking of this, she thinks of her chipped, miscolored paintings in the cottage. Perhaps they would forget who painted them. That's a nutty thought, but okay, she's in it right now in terms of her spiraling. Yeah. She's insignificant. That's what all those years I'd given them would be. And the dream of living with my father, whatever. Once again, we don't know why she cares about that too much. Yeah. It's just the idea that she even wanted it is important to her.
It's not it's not sexual, but it's strangely incestuous.
Yes.
It
she
is
wanted
this
to, like,
Electra
shack
complex
up with him
sort of
and-
like, yeah, she's like, my mom died, so I'm going to become her.
Yeah.
And it's this
a better version of
better,
her.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Which is this Oedipal / Electra / whatever. Yeah, interesting concept there.
All the years of work she did for them, if she doesn't go back, won't matter. And it's kind of like, that's a weird way to think about it.
Yeah.
Of course it mattered.
She wanted to be the one to suffer the whole way through, build the whole thing up, and get them to a modestly better life. And her to be like, I suffered
that was
all the way
me.
through. All me.
All me.
I built it with my own 2 hands sort of thing.
Yeah.
That are all scarred now. Look what I suffered for you girls. I'm not getting married. I have my dad. This is weird. And I don't think I've heard anyone talking about how weird this is.
Where would you have heard this?
I don't know, but like, where are the girlies talking about the like Freudianness of all this?
Well, I don't maybe they're around. I haven't come across it because we're talking about too many things happen.
Does Tamlin and/or Rysand have any qualities similar to Papa Archeon at some point, or no?
Archeron.
I don't know.
Anyway,
couldn't you say it? Archeon?
Archeon.
Archeon?
I don't know.
Okay, because he wasn't given much other than being crippled.
Well, that's what I mean. What qualities were there to even like be reflected?
Yeah, true.
She says, I can't just give up on it no matter what you say. He says she's not giving up on them. And then she says, living in luxury, stuffing myself with food. How is that not? And he says, they are fed and cared for and comfortable. So like they're doing it too.
Yeah.
They too are
stuffing their
eating and
face.
Whatever. She's like, well, if you can't lie, and that's true, it was beyond anything I had ever dared hope for. Then my vow to my mother was fulfilled. She feels stunned. My life was now owned by the treaty, but perhaps I'd been freed in another sort of way. Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely that.
Yeah, interesting enough, I think like she's kind of like excited. Like in this moment, she's a little like,
fucking should be.
I get to like go back down.
Yeah.
Be a person, which I wasn't. I was holding myself to this lofty ideal.
Right. Which, again, like, it's just funny to be like, she's always being so, like, I'm so trapped by this and this and this. And, like, half of it's real and the other half is, like...
self-inflicted.
You added all of that into the box.
I agree.
I don't know where it came from.
It's interesting.
So that, okay, I thought it was so weird.
We snap immediately into
yeah, okay. Like, we have this big revelation, right? Like, they have this back and forth. First of all, she just had to deal with the fact that she thought she was escaping with her dad, and her dad came to save her, which had a lot of emotional resonance, right into that getting foiled and ruined. So she's obviously feeling very upset by that right now. Then we have her biggest thing, the biggest emotional thing she's been dealing with is trying to escape, the promise to the family, get kind of resolved. Like, she has, for the very first time, she's like,
freedom.
Maybe he's right. Like, maybe they are okay, and I can just, like, think about myself. These are big deals at this point in
Huge
the book.
deals.
And
how about a little more, I don't know, just conversational backstory about what's going on at the border?
What?
You would not think about this for 3 days.
My girl should be, like, dwelling on that and, like, sitting with that, maybe saying or asking more about that, or not, or just being quiet and really, really thinking on it. I think she'd be, like, overwhelmed with emotion. This is her trying to avoid all of that.
Probably.
Right?
Yeah.
But it feels...
Anyway.
Right. I think she goes right into asking Tamlin about where the other sentries on patrol are. I do understand it from that point of view of saying, like, okay, Feyre is bad with the emotions and she goes to practical things, which is a theme.
It's a theme.
It feels jarring as the reader, though, because you're like, I kind of wanted to sit with that for a sec. I don't care about this question. I don't really know how you could square that circle. Circle that square, how do you say it?
I think both are the same, right?
Whatever. Yeah, I don't know how to deal with that, right? Because I'm like, okay, I guess it fits her characterization to do that. But as the reader, I'm like, that's something I really want to think about. And then you're asking this really dry, boring question next. And I'm just like, I don't fucking care what the sentries are.
You would have needed a line or two about her being like, she quickly buried those thoughts. And then, like, you would need, like, transitional sentences that would lead us to, like, oh, she's...
I know, but then that's a little bit, like, too showy, don't tell, right?
It is, but... we're past that, I think, right now.
We're doing a lot of it anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, it just felt jarring, or I was like, who cares? Okay, so she asks where the other sentries are. He says, at the border, we don't need sentries if I'm here. Wow.
Just the truth,
She asks if he was trained as a warrior. He says yes. He spent most of his days in his father's war band on the borders, training to one day serve him or others. Running these lands was not supposed to fall to me. So he's
just don't want to wait to be king,
A reluctant lord.
Yes.
And she asks what type of fairies prowl the woods, if the bug isn't the worst of them. And then she asks, what was that thing that just showed up that looked like her dad? He says it was a Puca. They use your desires to lure you somewhere remote, then they eat you. Yeah, kind of lore dump. These lands used to be well guarded. The deadlier fairies were contained within the borders of their native territories, monitored by the local Fey lords or driven into hiding. The sickness that infected Prithian weakened the wards that kept them out.
Yeah.
And then he said it's not safe to travel alone at night. But again, I'm like, I feel
it's
like
not
it's
safe
not
to travel,
safe
period.
to travel alone
Yeah.
during the day either. And then she says, what else is different now? And he says,
everything.
Okay.
Everything. It's like such a fucking Twilight trailer line.
Yeah, so we go to the next scene. Feyre's thinking, so I truly was to live here forever. As much as what Tamlin said made sense, without the weight of the promise, I felt hollow and empty. Okay, so our estimations from the beginning, we've kind of been saying yeah, this girl's obsessed with this because it just gives her meaning and it props her ego up.
Yes.
And all of these things. And I feel like that's saying basically yes, you're right.
That's true.
Yeah.
Correct.
So, the next few days, Tamlin's out hunting the Bogge, and Feyre goes on watch with Lucien. They're hanging out. They don't really hunt much. One day she sees a doe and she's going to shoot it. And Lucien makes a joke. At least it's not a fairy. And that makes her pause because, she feels bad about it.
Yeah.
A little. And she thinks the doe looks fat and content. She decides not to shoot it. That's nice. Yeah, you get the sense that, again, she kind of has this instinct to shoot because of her hunger and everything. But then when she actually thinks about it, she's like, I don't need to shoot that. She doesn't want to. So she really doesn't run into Tamlin anymore. And he's very quiet when they eat dinner. At dinner one night, he leaves early to go hunt again. And Feyre notices that Lucien looks a little concerned. And she says, oh, you worry about him, about Tamlin. And he says, Tamlin gets into moods. Okay, what does that mean? And she says he doesn't want your help hunting the Bogge. He says he prefers being alone and having it on our lands. I don't suppose you'd understand. Even after he's shredded it, he's going to brood on it.
Shredded it.
Everything gets shredded to ribbons. And she says there's no one who can help him at all. So yeah, now Feyre is starting to feel this wait, he's all alone.
Alone out there. Oh, he didn't even want to be in charge.
Yeah, exactly. And he says he would probably shred them for disobeying his orders to stay away. She says he would be that brutal. He says, I liked this point.
Me too.
You don't hold on to power by being everyone's friend. And among the fairies, lesser and high fae alike, a firm hand is needed. We're too powerful and too bored with immortality to be checked by anything else.
Yeah.
I like this, realistic, there are difficult choices to be made.
Yes.
Things sometimes do get very harsh because, there's really, it's not that simple, right? No. You can't just, ooh, we'll be nice and we'll figure it out, right? No. She says, it seems like a cold, lonely position to have when you didn't particularly want it. I wasn't sure why it bothered me so much. And, us as the reader are because it's you, Feyre.
Okay. Look in the mirror.
Yeah.
She's got her AirPods in. She can't hear the truth.
So then Feyre has a dream. She's back in the woods killing the wolf again while she's holding the arrow. She feels a shadow watching behind her.
Oh.
She doesn't want to kill it this time, but she doesn't have control of her hands and she shoots it anyway. Then the wolf becomes a high fae. It's actually Andros, the
man.
Fae man,
yeah,
laying in the snow, and then she's holding his skin, and you're
that's a lot
disturbing.
And he's just this skinned body, like the wolf was, but now a man.
So she wakes up and she feels like she's gonna throw up, and she says perhaps it was the quiet of the last few days, or not thinking of having to keep my family alive, that is prompting all these bad thoughts. I like that, yeah, if you go from like, I don't even have time to ruminate on bad things. I don't know. Your brain would be like feeling kind of crazy and spiraling out of control when you're suddenly just like idle. Yeah. I do kind of like, I have a hard time. I don't know. Just like, don't do anything. Be bored. Be like, I have bad. Yeah. Like I struggle really bad with like
stagnation and
yeah. So like I do empathize with this part of her journey and like her struggle with this. And I think this is such an extreme version of it that like, yeah. But I'm also like, yes, that is definitely part of it. But it's like, yeah, it's also the guilt. The guilt. Like you're hanging out with them and now you're like forming relationships and you're like, oh my God, that's who I killed. Yeah, it wasn't the Bogge. It was one of these guys. Yeah. But yeah, she doesn't want to quite
wrap around
take that in yet. But you're like, obviously her subconscious is feeling very bad about it.
And so I thought the last bits of this, except for the weird lore insertion there, but like pretty much from when Tamlin shows up with the Puca all the way to the end, I was like, this is cooking. We're finally cooking a little bit. We're getting into psychology. We're getting into like her inner world and like how it's a little fucked up. Yeah. And she couldn't do anything about that before. And like, so we'll see where we go. Yeah. But good job.
Okay.
Chapter 11.
Good job, Sarah. Yeah, it's pretty good. I think it's maybe, other than the first chapter, the most solid stretch of the story. Yeah. So far. Yeah. In terms of, yeah, for the most part, I was like...
It was satisfying.
Yeah. I honestly don't know. I don't remember exactly how everything plays out from here. So I'm really curious to see the next couple of chapters where we're at. I just want a new character to show up so I can wear a costume.
Yeah, me too. It feels like one's coming. That's how it feels, but I don't know if that's true.
I think we still got a bit.
I'll dress up like the Puca then.
What does that mean?
Just like put a backpack over my head. I have no idea.
You could have been the Bogge, and we could have just filmed this without, like, I should like remove you out of the video.
Oh yeah,
it's like just your voice.
Definitely good time. I'm excited to keep going.
All right, we're gonna keep it going. We're gonna read more tonight. Yeah, and then we're gonna be back in 2 weeks.
We'll see you then.
And we'll see you guys then. Thanks for watching. Bye.